peeps. Wednesday midweek share. I am at home. Finally home after a crazy week. Finally get to do my share. This has been such a crazy week. But I am thanking God that I'm here to share with you what is happening because I know a lot of you want to know, especially that they've realized that my internet down, light down, everything is happening. How do I say? Water cut off, light cut off, mosquito bite, all the things that is happening. But guess what? It's still a beautiful world because today we got sunshine. Yeah, sunshine. And even though the um the current is off, it's for our own safety because well, Uptown didn't have it so badly, but I work in the inner city. I have um, family business that I attend to, and that's like downtown. And I guess electrical poles fall all about because of the storm. So the light, they had to cut power because all those live wires on the ground and all about will electrocute our people. So we can't they couldn't turn on the lights. So being at work downtown was torture because it was so hot and miserable, and I didn't carry out my generator because yes, I have my solar generator and my solar fans and stuff, so I could have remembered to do that, but I forgot. So we were punished. We were punished. Yes, Miss Grace, you gave us a good beating. But I am still standing and I am grateful. Another experience to share. Yes, I went and we did our first vaccine. Um, because under the circumstances and the dramas going on, if I have to go out and interact with people every day, and the Delta virus is here now in Jamaica, it wasn't here, but it has finally landed. So we have been battling with the COVID. Yes, it's a lot of work to have to be boosting up your immune system every day, especially when you have to go out and interact with people because you're not privileged enough to be quarantined and still pay those big bills that we have to live in. So when you have to go out and interact with the people in our Jamaican society, you can't tell who has the virus from who does not, and leaving yourself vulnerable is very dangerous. So in order to be safe when you go out, you have to boost up your immune system. That is, you drink your vitamin C's, you drink your ginger, your garlic, your bush medicines and stuff, strong up yourself. But how much of us can do that? It's like you could be the baddest person in the world you can fight, but when you have 10 people beating at you and you're the only one, you're bound to lose that fight because all of that gang on you, will really overwhelm you and overpower you. So you must maybe would lose that fight. So being in Kingston with so many of the virus out and then have to go out to interact with these people, you have to find a way to gang up to fight because I'm a fighter. Yes, me a go boss fight. Yes, me will boss fight. Yeah, me will bad woman. Yeah. So, in order to bust fight against this virus and defeat the virus, you have to strong up. And if them say we must bust fight with the vaccine and we are gonna beat this virus, then I'm in for that. I'm in for that 100%. So you can't say you're gonna bust fight and you go out there vulnerable. When you go bust fight, you go with your weapon, don't it? So what is your weapon? You have some people, yes, them can strong up because them a smoke the weed and them a take them vitamin C's and them a take them bush medicines and them strong up and them immune system is very strong and them never normally sicky. But what about those people who born like me, you know, from your born you take vaccine? I mean, in my reflection on my vaccines, from a born I'm taking vaccine. So when I reflect, it look like me is not really human. Me's a walking drugstore according to my Rastafarian friends when them ready to tease me. When shady them and brother bad them use the tease with them say, you're a walking drugstore, you know, Chrissy, because every slightest little thing you draw for the painkiller and you draw for the anything, go to the doctor to get some antibiotics or whatever. And we just use the natural herbs of the land and we heal up and we good. But then when you're accustomed to that in comparison to when those who are not accustomed to that, you can't compare. And that's when you use the concept of we are all not the same. We are not made up the same, because after we were born, it is what our parents do with us to differentiate who might be stronger, who might be weaker, who might be, you know, the whole it conforms your well-being of the person that is being made. So thinking I take when I reflect back, you know, from a born that to give me vaccine. Then after vaccine, they say when we little they give me polio vaccine. They give me chicken pox vaccine. They give me measles vaccine. When me go to school, vaccine. Me go to university, vaccine. I'm like, when I'm doing my even my trip to Africa, vaccine. I'm like, what the heck? A pure vaccine. So you'd have to recognize who you are. You know, you're made up of vaccines. So if you're gonna strong up and fight this fight and go out there and interact with people who are carrying some highfalutin virus, how do you protect yourself? Vaccine. Do as your mama taught you, you know. Mommy's always right. So you supposed to remember how you were growing up. And I'm just thinking how much like my mother I am. Sweethearts, I am so much like my mother. I am the splitting image, because when I'm faced with the situation of the trials, in the same way how my mother had said to me, she's in Westmoreland, you know. She born and grew in Westmoreland as a child. So with her dad, you know, Indian people. And you know, her dad loved her so much and grew her well, and her grandparents took care of her and whatever, teach her the whole Indian culture. And I mean, when my mom became come to Jamaica and she came back down, and I'm like, Mom, these people down here, so you mix with and them do them things. She said, Chrissy, she came out and she said, Chrissy, whatever they're doing is down here a born and grow, I'm never dead. If anybody is to kill me, a down here so go and kill me. A Westmoreland she attack, you know. A Westmoreland go and kill me. And anyway me want dead anyway, I'm buried a Westmoreland. So I'm like, when I came up there, when I said, Mom, oh gosh, I have to go take the vaccine because I have to reach to America. And hearing how nasty America is with the virus in comparison to Jamaica, I am worried. I am panicking. I am scared, but I have to prepare because I have to fight. This is a fight that only me can fight, because nobody can fight this virus for me but me. And what do I do? What am I gonna do? And so I think now, I said, so Mom said, you gotta take that vaccine. I say, I know I gotta take the vaccine if I'm coming over there. I know we're gonna have to take the vaccine, and then the virus is on the island as well. So I know we're gonna have to do something about it. So, sweethearts, I found myself speaking the same language of my mother when I said, if anybody going to kill me, it a go be the Jamaican people in Kingston, and I'm gonna die by the hospital that I was born. So I am making my appointments, and I'm saying, okay, I'm in Stony Hill. Coincidentally, no available appointments for in Stony Hill. So I said, Same way as my mom said, anybody got kill her anywhere she go, straight back for where she come from. So sweetheart. So when I told my mom, said, where you going? I said, mommy, I'm going straight back to the hospital where I born. Here she, Hey, hey, hey. You know how much money I did have to pay for make you come into the world? Private hospital, private Catholic people, private hospital. Mister, listen to me now. The whole point is that me don't worry about how much money you did have to pay for bring me into the world. But the whole point is that I am in the world. Is those people help you bring me into the world. And if it's that hospital me have to go to and, I'm gonna die, then is that hospital we might as well go to make them kill me with the vaccine if them doing it properly or not. So to pray for me for the want me alive and still want me alive. But at the rate she go ahead, me said, but it's good the owner was saying I shouldn't born and me auntie them I shouldn't born and when me coming to the world for and them don't know when me coming to the world for and whatever. And I'm like, but I came into the world for God's purpose. I came in the world to do God's will and to do God's work. And if I was not supposed to be born, I would not have been here. So nothing mommy could have done or cousin could have done or auntie could have done or whatever shebang those people may be that decides to take set on me because of my existence into the world and the work that I have been doing over the years for myself and the life that I would like to live. It shouldn't be a burden to them because I was never a part of their life doing anything in their space. I was always in my space, grew up in Kingston. As my mom said, she would drive me to Westmoreland to accompany her to do her work in her parish, of which we had to learn because as lawyer said on TV, your children is your pension. And if you're going to sue any of them, it is okay because you are the one that is supposed to put your children in that successful position so that if anything is happening to you and you can't pull through yourself, you're supposed to can call on to your children them to help you. So when people start with them foolishness about your child shouldn't be born or you this or that or this or that, if anybody shouldn't be born, it's you who is thinking that the people's them child should have been born because your thinking is warped, your brain is wired wrong, your bad mind is too great that you can't even see a married couple, a happily married couple with a family and not envy them because some people when they see people are married and growing their children and because their life is looking good, you don't know the challenges they are faced with that they have to put through to make their relationship work and their children be educated and grow properly. It's just a bad mind because they choose of hatching out their kids one by one and show off to the world, oh, I'm a single parent, I can do it. So when they see a married couple doing it with the support of each other, it's all an envy and a bad mind. Oh, I wish them picnic did dead, or I wish them mother or them husband did dead, and them wishing all these bad on the people, and that is just sheer bad mind. So we now as individuals have to remember where we're coming from and give that support and be grateful and thankful because those are the people that have us here today, and we are here because of whatever God wants us to come into the world to do whatever work on behalf of them. And we have to be grateful because I could relate to that. I could, and I was thankful that I could relate to it today. Going to do the vaccine and taking my family out to do the vaccine and it yes I ball because I'm a baller, yeah, and I'm afraid of injection, so I was the only one bawling, yes, and screaming because it hurt, yeah, but I've witnessed worse operations. Yeah, you hear me? I have go through C-section with bringing my daughter into the world. I have done to birth in bringing my son into the world. And remember the operation last 2 years with the dead fetus in my belly, dead baby in my belly, and the infection leave back the cancer stigma and all that clearing out and what you call it, the chemotherapy treatments and the injections for the pains of the healing. Sweethearts, my body has been through a lot. And if my body has been through so much and is still standing to here, I say, well, God want me here for a reason, and I have to be grateful that I'm still alive and well to continue doing His work. So whatever the work is, sweetie pies, give it to me, throw it on, throw it on, throw it on. I'm a workaholic by nature and maybe by blood because I'm coming from my dad that worked very hard, my mom that worked very hard, my grandparent with my grandpa actually. My grandmother wasn't a worker. She was more want to sit down and read a book. So sometimes I get my little um read a book what you call it though, addiction comes in like my grandmother. Sit down and read a book. So, or play games and stuff like that. So that is from my grandmother's side. Read a book and play games. Take life easy and the business but nothing. But my grandfather, no, the Indian side, no, they would they're like workaholics. So I think I got a lot of that trait from him because he was a fisherman, Indian fisherman. He was a constructor, carpenter, builder. He was a farmer. Um, what else? He did a lot of things that it's that was really physical. So he wasn't then very into reading a book or more so. But my grandfather worked and provided for his family, and because he did the physical work, then family was able to eat bread and live a comfortable life, and of which his parents did that with him too, because his parents, they said, were farmers. His mother, planted rice in the fields, and she was a homemaker too, so she made sure that the family meals were ready and the house was tidy and stuff like that. And the meals did their set of farming too. So, we're coming from a lineage of farmers from my mom's dad's side, and then my dad's side. That was, I don't know the whole history of how their workaholism came in, but I knew he grew up with extended family members, like cousins and other family members, friend of family too, that would be there working around him, showing him how to do things and participating with him, and he was participating with them. So because of that, my dad learned that in order to survive, because I said his mom died when he was a baby, and my which one? No, his dad was an alcoholic, so I guess the drinking was somewhere into the genes, but me not take up with that habit. So maybe me get that one from my mother's side because my grandmother wasn't a drinker either. So all the genes of the parents and the family members play a part in making up a child. So you have to learn your child, and you have to know where the habits are coming from, what is it that they're doing, and what is it that they do, and then you will understand, oh, that habit came from such and such, that habit came from such and such, and then you can relate much better to the child type of child that you have into the world. But I am just so fascinated with how my mom, and what my mom had said when she was here and the COVID struck and everything, and she'll bad up the place, and I'm like, all right, so your parish we into whatever will be. Since you said this is where you have to be, I find it so funny that now that everybody God leave me, she have my sister God off, and it's me here now have to take care of me, and make sure that my brother and my son are all right. I'm like, well, I kickstart with brother Grossy, and I was like repeating the same words that Bobby said. If anybody gonna kill me, that kickstart, we go straight back where we come from, straight to the hospital where we born. To put up that armor of a war to help me fight this war with this virus that is out on the land. So, people, we are gonna fight this. We're gonna fight this. We have been fighting viruses and diseases and poisons into the air for years. Yeah? And the good thing is that we have managed to triumph over them all if we're still standing and alive today. So the thing is, there are many people who have already done the guinea pig part of it, because that was mainly what we most of us was worried about. Yes, they're coming up with this vaccine very quickly, and we don't know how safe it is and how real it is and how we're gonna cope if we're just gonna be black people is gonna be just the guinea pigs all the time. And seeing a lot of people doing it and see all my family members, which is the same bloodline, because as I was saying to my son, sweetheart, we are a Wilkins. Yeah, our bloodline is the same. Me and my sister bloodline is same mother and father. My mom have the vaccine. My sister have the vaccine. All my Wilkins family practically have by now gotten the vaccine. So therefore, everybody did their guinea pig part of the experiment to see how their body will take to this vaccine and how it will adjust. And when they break them down in 2 doses and stuff, that's to not overwhelm you with a whole heap one time. So it take time work its way into your system. So to see how it works out. So sweethearts, we have to just keep praying and do what's right. Know yourself, know your body. If you're in charge or responsible for the care of other persons, you can help them think positively as to their generation of how they take care of themselves in over the years. It's good to take chances, but I like to take calculative chances. Yeah, it's good to take calculative chances. So when you're gonna take your chance, as I said, I'm a gambler, because that's a learned behavior from my mom, who taught me. And as I said, she said her mother used to do gambling too. So they brush off those little knowledge on you that life is a gamble. You take chances. And if you're gonna take chances in life because you want a good opportunity, then you just have to do it. You just have to shut up your eye, as Auntie say, and chuck off. Auntie Baby's like, Chrissy, sometimes you just have to shut up your eye and chuck off. Take a chance. But I like to calculate it out. I like to calculate it out and look on the history, where you're coming from, your genes, your background. Have you done this before? What was the repercussion when you did it before? And if it's negative, then you have something to consider. If it was positive, then why not try do it again, because you might get a positive result again out of it. Most people in life, if you're gonna take a chance and gamble at something, you would want to repeat something that you had a positive result in. If you had a negative result with something, you're gonna be shy to go repeat that, right? So I always say, in life, when you're gonna do anything, think about the history of it. Think about what happened back then when you did it. Was it 100% good? Was it pleasing? Was it positive? Did something positive come out of it? And if something positive came out of it, then it's okay to take the chance and do it again. And as I said, growing up, from a born, them been vaccinating me, giving me painkillers, and stronging me up to can take on this world and the viruses out there. Even to go to Africa, on the plane, you have to take vaccine, and to go school, you have to take vaccine, or else them not let you into the classroom or into a area where they know a lot of these diseases and viruses and poisons flying around in the air, and you can't see it and you don't know where it's coming from. So it's a way to give you that opportunity to protect yourself and to help to strong up, to fight on, right? And in order for you to fight on and win the war of life, you have to do what you know you have been doing for years and your family has been doing with you for years. So everybody is an individual, as I said, but you have a history. You have a history, and you know your family, and you know where you come from, and you know your background, and you know what you have been doing for years to continue living. So continue do what you do, and hopefully everything works out and turn out for the best. You know, so your prayers also. God is a miracle worker. God is good, and I have always proven it so far, because if I'm still alive, then, and it's only God me know I pray to, He always managed to send things into my life that I least expect to pull me through, people into my life that I least expect to pull me through. As God said, He's not gonna come to you in the form you expect Him to come to. So a lot of people wondering why they're always failing and losing. It's because, and yet they're praying to God. I'm like, have it ever occurred to you that when you're praying to God, you're still having demonic intentions? Demonic intentions meaning you are fearful, you're prejudiced, you are skeptical of what is to come. You're still trying to control what God is going to do for you. And if you can't control God, God is the one that is in control. And He loves us all and He loves everybody. And He's going to choose what lifestyle and what He wants for you, because He knows you before you even know yourself. He was the one who created you into your mother's womb, and He knows where He wants you to go and where He's taking you. So if you're praying to God and you're having evil intentions at the same time, like you're saying, oh God, please help me because I want to go show off on this one, or get some this to show off, or if go hurt that one or whatever, that is not a way God is gonna honor you and bless you. You understand? If you're praying to God, you have to pray to God with some genuineness. I want to do better. I want you to help me because I need to strong up to take care of myself, to do your will, Lord. You understand? There are work out there that God wants of you to do, and only God can lead you to it. You can't even lead yourself to say you want to do this work. Because even when you equip yourself and you study, because look how much studying I do, and yet I touch on every one of my work abilities, and the education that I use to wise up myself on certain skills. And at the same time, it's not just one, it's several different one, and God calls me each time to go to different places, even when I study what I study. Right? So it's the knowledge that I gain from reading my books and studying that I have to use now to help me as a coping mechanism when I am called to do certain jobs in certain places and with certain people that is I would have said, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I wouldn't go do that. But if God calls you to do it, you just do it and get over it, and then you have that choice, that privilege of choice, to say you can go back into your own space, your home, your comfort zone, where it's nice and rosy and cozy, because that is actually what you enjoy and appreciate. And if God knows that's what you enjoy and appreciate, all the time He's not going to suffer you. All the time He's not going to suffer you. He will let you go to that place of comfort that you find your peace and your love and your joy. But at the same time in life, it takes a balance. And if people are calling you to a rescue, you don't know it's you they're calling, because they are praying. They're praying. But if God sees where you as an individual can reach out and save a particular person who is praying, God uses the human body to do His work too. Right? So He may send you into some situations and you're like, why the hell me? No, I don't want to do that. But if he's calling you and he's calling you, you just have to get up and go. Because there is a reason. There is a reason, and God is the reason. He knows what it is He's calling you to do. He knows where He's leading you to go. And He's the one that have the last talk in everything, not you. You are just a mere experience, a mere angelic human being come down on earth, come down on land to experience some human life and see what the humans got to feel, some suffering, feel some pains, feel some joys, feel some pleasures and stuff, and enjoy the beautiful world that it is. It has a lot of things in it that I see fit to live a joyous life and enjoy it to the max. But it's for you have to know how to take care of the temple of the Lord, which is a body that he gifted unto you, and it grows over the years by how you take care of it and your parents take care of you with it, and bring you to that space where you're able to say, thank you, Lord, I recognize your hand in my life, and bring me to this place of appreciation where I can now be in charge of it. Because that is what God asks of us, even if he gives you a baby to grow and him say, okay, I'm going to bless this one with a child. Even if you wanted the child dead and God said, no, this child needs to come into this world for your purpose, brings you to become a better person as well. Because you would learn what it is like to care for something that you really love, something that you suffer through to bring into this world healthily, and to care for it. So when you are doing that, you're growing yourself for the better, and you're now growing a second person for the better. But how do you love that person to grow them to the point where they're able to take care of themselves and to be able to can take care of you in return, if you become old into that ripe old age where you're unable to take care of yourself in? And that is the main reason why we have a generational cycle. So when people are going on like, oh no, it's just them one and them one into the world, and them not have to have no kids, and them not have to get married, and them not have to have no partner, that's a selfish behavior. Yeah, it's a selfish behavior. But it calls you to recognize that if you can't share your life with somebody else and others, then what is the purpose of you living? What is the purpose of you being here? But you're given that chance. You're still given that chance of a life to do what you feel that you're supposed to do. And then when you do that now, it's at the end you say, am I fulfilled? Have I accomplished the goal I set for myself? Because if you're continuously procrastinating, you set this goal to do and you want to do this and yet you don't do it. I'm going to do this. I hesitate. It's a whole set of procrastination. And then you wonder why other people is so blessed and you are in a total remorse of procrastination. It's because you have hang-ups. Because you are playing God's game where instead of you let it go and let God, you're the one trying to control God. And trying to control God, you're going to fall flat on your face because you are not God, and God is doing his thing with other people while you're trying to do God's work instead of God, letting God do his work through you and use you. So you have to know when to let go, to say, God, take charge. It's your life. I am yours. You created me. You bring me into the world. It's your life. Lead me where you want me to go. Tell me what you want me to do. I am here for you. Even though sometimes you don't even like it. Sometimes you say, but I don't want to do that, because every time I say, but I don't want to go to America. And I mean, the people that are around me, they're pressuring, you need to come. When you're going to come to America? And I don't want to go. But the whole point is that if God said that's what I have to do, I have to do it, even though you don't want to do it, and it's not that. Because I trust that even when I do and I take on that challenge of what I don't want to do, there will come a time when God will reward me to let me do the things that I want to do, which is more pleasurable and enjoyable and fun. Because as you know, I'm a fun girl. I love fun. I love enjoying life. I like partying, but at the same time, you have to balance it. You can't just have a life full of fun. and do no work, and do none of balance it out with none of the little hardship and sufferation of life. Because that's what life entails. It's the balance, I'm a scale. Librans have a balance that scale. So yes, we have a lot of pleasure principle, but at the same time, we balance it out with a little work, a little hardship, yeah, a little work and strong up, yeah. So all those people who don't like to work, me don't know how they're gonna manage, but it's a part of life. And if you don't work when you're young, you're going to work when you're old. So me always tell people, say there is no easy way in life. There's none whatsoever. Even when you're trying your best to find that easy way, there's just no easy way, because some things you just have to face up to pass through to get to where you want to go, which is what you might consider the easy life. But you have to pass through that phase of what they call hardship. By the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. So you work very hard, put things into place, and then when you put things into place, you reap the rewards of your labor. Yeah? But you have to put that work in. And you have to do in preparation, just like how when you're going to prepare a food. I'm a caterer, so as well. So I like to cook and prepare, but when I'm gonna cook, I don't just jump up and say I'm gonna cook. I look at what I have in my kitchen, the ingredients, the things to make the meal, and then I prepare that first. If it's to clean the chicken, wash the fish, wash the shrimp, wash the vegetables and whatever, you prepare up that, cut them up and whatever, and then you execute, you cook. But you can't just say you're going to just cook and just jump up and go into the fridge and start cook like that, because you don't even know if you have the ingredients. So it's the same thing with life. Same thing in life. You're gonna sit back and say, I want to yield a lot of money because I want to go on a cruise around the world, and I want to just go on the boat and just sit back and do all inclusive eating all I want. And then I'm gonna go into the casino and play all the games, and then all the money is going to drop out of it. And I'm just gonna have all that life and drink some Ziggy Marley or Bob Marley juice, and it is so delicious, and all the fun things. And then I'm gonna swim into the pool, and you're just talking about all those fun things that you're gonna do. But guess what? You didn't put nothing into place to be able to can do that. So in order to be able to reach that stage of life where you can go up on cruises and tour around the world, or go to all inclusive hotels and eat up and drink up and lean back and not go to work and sleep later and hang out with the guys or the girls and play games and do all the fun things of life, you're gonna have to put in some of the work to put things into place so that you can yield that income to can afford you to live that life at some point of your life. But to get to that point of your life, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You can't just sit back and say, it'll go come, and how some people have it and how some people get to do it. You didn't realize that they were working when you were thinking that life is carefree and there's nothing to it. No, somebody was putting something together, whether a musician was putting a music together, maybe an author was putting a book together, maybe a playwright was writing some plays together, maybe a cook was putting her farm together to reap her foods, to can cook her food meals for her catering. Um, Anything what it is, even if it's a small shop you have and you have goods to sell, whatever it is, you had to start out by stocking a certain produce and turning it over and selling, so your stock base would grow big. So by the time you reach a certain age, or your business reach a certain age, you will be able to sit back and reap those rewards. Yeah. So in life, you have to put out that effort. You have to put out that effort to do something. You have to have goals set. But you can't sit down now and then when you see people reaping the rewards of their goals that them set, their work, their labor that they put together, now they're reaping the rewards of it. And then you going to sit down now and then bad mind them to say, I how them get so rich? I how them have this? I how them have that? I how them get to do that? Did you remember how long some of them have them baby? And them husband a go work and them a go work, and all the baby must say a go work too. Cause them all carry the baby on them side. Put them in a creech in the job, because most of the jobs them nowadays have little creatures that them say okay, them have somebody in the company to babysit the workers, them kids. Sometimes them put them into the creatures so the children are in the work place with them. You understand? Especially if them not have nobody to leave them with, or if the housekeeper is not there, or them had to get rid of whatever housekeeper, extort them or abuse them or whatever, and them have to change over. But these people put their work in, and because them put them work in, you now go see that, all you see is when them started, and that's not the fun part for some people. They are not interested in that. You don't want to see nobody work. Look how hard them a work, Lord have mercy. Me could I never do that. And then when them reach now, 20 years later, 30 years later, you see what they have accomplished is pure bad mind. How them have that. How them picnic get so bright. How them picnic can manage this. And like I said, them never see when the child and the parents was working all along to put things into place to make their life a little better off later on in the end. And that is the avenue most people in life is supposed to take. You have to make a plan for your future, because life is just not living to die tomorrow. It's just not that. And as some people may think, oh, we're just living to die tomorrow, so we might as well just whatever we get, we don't just make a goal or make any plans for no future. We just living to die tomorrow. No, 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 no. Yes, it's nice to have spontaneity and be spontaneous, but at the same time, you still have to save back something for in case you're not bother dead tomorrow, because you might not bother dead tomorrow. Yeah, plan and a plan and a plan. When you look, you've done everything and you're never dead. What you going to do? Start over from scratch when you're too old and can't manage it no more? No. So you have to put things into place, guys, to make sure that when you're starting off doing something, or if you're going to do something, you put it into place so that in the end, you're good, and you can live the life that you want to live when you're old and cannot manage to live it. And you don't have to put on that whole drama where them say sometimes because your kids is your pension, you have to go sue your picnic now for mine you. When your picnic have them own family, a try pull together, because a circle of life. They're gonna have to try and teach their children too. So even when you sue your child for mine you have to remember your child might have a family too, where they might have 2 kids or 3 kids too. Yeah? And then the mother say, but you have 4 or 5 kids. Make them help you. Make them help you. You can't just depend upon me one, because some parents now them look for the most successful one to help them. Them now look on and say, I have 5 kids, so each one of them is supposed to contribute back to helping the mother instead of, or the father, or the mother and father. They look on it to say, oh, let me target the most expensive one and take sec on that one. To suck them down to nothing. That is not even love. That is greed. That is greed. Because the intention is greed why you have so much kids. But you finally have so much kids and your greed make you work hard for mine, all of them what you have. So if you find yourself with 5 or 4 kids, everybody don't know say you're craving. But the point is that you're strong enough to take care of the 4 or 5 of them. So by the end of it, you must can call upon the 4 or 5 of them to contribute back to you where you need. You shouldn't have to be looking, oh, I'm going to look for the richest one for try suck them down to nothing. You have to remember the richest one was working harder than the other ones, them to put things into place to ensure that they live comfortable too. So even because them have a family too, and them want them family to be all okay too, and to live at certain standard of life. And if you want your kids to live a certain standard of life, you have to put in that work. You have to study. What I do, I study. I work. As old as I be, I am always studying. I go by the philosophy. I am a lifelong learner. Every day I learn something new. And sometimes there are some things I learned years ago that can come up to help me up until now today. You understand? And I just keep studying and brushing up my skills on it, reading up and helping myself to learn more about whatever it is that I have been studying over the years. But nobody knows that that is a part of living. That's a part of living. You can't just live and just live so in vain. No. Making yourself wiser each day, learning a particular skill, learning more about a particular skill is even greater. Because the more you learn about a skill, either by theory and your practical experience by practices, you can all write your book about that particular skill and topic. And while you're implementing your findings, because when you're doing the particular skill you have studied, I'm sure when you put it into practice, you're going to experience something that might not have been even into the theory that you have been reading about. But because of your practical experience, it make you know a little bit more knowledgeable and get little more ideas on how to improvise and make certain things work a little better. And when you write your own book, you can all implement those little secrets to it. Yeah, and you call these are my secrets to success in this particular business. Yeah. So in life there is so many things to do and share, but some people are selfish. Some people don't like to share. Some people mind is always on what the other person is doing, or I want to take away what that person has, or I want to get what that person has. It's not like I want to get something like that for myself. So let me try and figure out how to do it. Let me learn to. Let me ask questions and try and learn from them. Yeah, anybody have any tips on how to get this done? I would like to get this done too. No, some of them is all about mega stick you up and rob you and thief it and all sort of negatives. And it just doesn't work that way, because you can't take somebody else's idea and say it's yours, because if you do that, it beats the purpose of you knowing actually how to do it. And therefore, you don't know how to do it. You're always looking to steal from somebody else to have what they have, instead of you getting it from the way you know how to get it. So it will always come to you that way. You don't have to be killing somebody or trying to steal somebody, because the day I'm going to come and catch up with you and you can't do that anymore. So sometimes you have to take a rain check and check out things yourself. Learn something for yourself. Learn how to do it yourself, because not all the time you're going to be able to ask somebody to do it for you or beg somebody to do it for you. You have to know how to do it yourself. Learn how to do it and make yourself a better person in taking on and handling life situations. Yeah, when you can handle life situations and stop following the people them into their negative behaviors that sometimes put you on a fallback, and you're not learning about it, then that it's only you want to blame. You want to blame, you know? So it's good when you can learn your history, learn about your genes, learn about the choices that you're going to make. Even when you see other people doing it and stuff, find out why you want it. Find out why you want to do that. Because sometimes some people say they want something and they don't want it. They don't want it. They say, me want that good. So what you want it for? I don't know. What you gonna do with it? I don't know. Then where you want it for? Because them see somebody else with it, and the person looks quite happy with it, playing with it or dealing with it. Them feels that them want it to, and them don't want it. I just bad mind, right? So just sharing my Wednesday with you guys, and it was a good day so far, despite the lack of light, no internet, all the setbacks. So I couldn't get to do much, couldn't get to do no reading and studying and no working and stuff like that. But I'm still grateful because I have life and the sun is shining, and I am here to still share with you, right? So if we're gonna fight this war of this virus now, because Delta strain is out on us, well, sweetie pie, if you can take on the challenge to do the vaccine thing, might as well you do it, because the more people do it, the stronger we become to can put up resistance to this virus clearing us out. And the same way how, as them say, we had to do the polio vaccines and the chickenpox vaccine and the measles vaccine and the dengue vaccine and all the vaccines that them have out there that we have been taking over the years. I doubt it if if it's gonna disappear if we don't strong up and vaccinate it up, right? So we have to just get the mindset and know what we're doing, because we have to be out there interacting, and it's a part of life. It's when you listen to negative people now you get confused and scared about something that you don't know about, because you have an offending side of people who might not do that, because there's still people in Jamaica who has not even taken a vaccine from a baby stage. I have learned that you still have people that don't even register their babies in Jamaica. They don't have a birth certificate. They don't have vaccines, and they're fine. They're living fine, and they're going on with their life, and nothing that happened to them. Nothing at all that happened to them. So I guess you have to know your history, because if you live all your life and you never do all those things and you still feel negative towards it and don't want to do it, maybe it's a reason. Maybe it's a reason. So maybe just so it go for you and your life. Maybe your parents or your family fed you with alternative medicines that has been working for you also. But as I say, if you're going to take the vaccine because you're normally a vaccinated baby, you can strong up, take your garlic and your turmeric, put up your boost your immunity, when you're going to take it, because that's what I do. And I think that's what makes me a little bit more stronger to the vaccine. Some people weak out and stuff. I try to boost up my immunity with the right ginger tea and the tea and the every day. That is what I put in my system. So if you boost up your immunity with those kind of immune boosters, then you will be a bit stronger to fight up whatever is out there looking to target people and to tear them down and kill them, right? But you have to start with you. You can't go out, say you're going to advise people and help people, and you are doing something different from what they are doing. If you're going to advise people and help people, then you have to look on what you're doing for yourself. Are you taking good care of you? Once you're taking good care of you, then you can say, well, if you do what I do, maybe it will work for you too, because some people are highly sickly, very sickly, and it's popping down and whatever. So you have to do what is necessary to keep you strong. Hmm? And other people can share what they use to keep strong, but at times like this, when it's becoming so detrimental and scary, I become so worried that I don't even know what to do with myself. It's like I worry myself sick. When I go for the vaccine, it's like my hands start hurt me, and my back start hurt me, and my every part of my body start pop down. I never ever get the vaccine yet. And I said, Jesus, you don't get it yet. It's your mind, it's your mind. I'm like, yes. Our mind kills us and our minds heal us. That's what I say. The mind kills and the mind heals. So, but I'm just saying, strong up, take your vitamin C's and boost up. Eat your fruits and, do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. And let's fight this virus together. Right? Boost up yourself, strong up. So I've spoken to you guys for almost an hour now. One of my longest lives. So a live show. So I missed my reflection that I decided to do. I think it was on Tuesday. But it was either Tuesday or Monday. No, it was Monday. It was Monday. I was supposed to do a live reflection with you guys to see how we're coping and how is everything coping. But the good thing is that I am here today, could share, and you guys get to still see how we're coping here. We've got sunshine. It's a beautiful day. And I hope you all are having same or similar experiences. As I say, it's the people around you that will make you sick and give you a warmer time and a harder life in life. So be careful on the type of people you encourage into your circle of your living, because some people are not there to empower you and strong you up. Some people are there to tear you down like real crabs in a barrel. They look, you have a whole heap of people around and they're like climbing and they look on you and they try to say negative things about you to make you feel bad about yourself. They will say negative things about the things you're doing to make you stop doing what you're doing, to say what you're doing now is nonsense or foolishness, not it now go work, or things like that, to really deter you from your goals and your missions. But in life you have to say your prayers, ask God to help you, especially when you find people like that around you. Say, Lord, help me find the way out, show me which way to go, and send people into my life who will give me good support and give me good advice and show me how to doing the things that I need to do to get through in this life. And if not, then you know how to remove me from this situation and put me where you believe I should be and should go. So God always have the last say in anything, and once you put your trust in him, he will do what's right for you, because God is the greatest, the ever powerful being who takes great care of us all the time. Yeah? And he never fails us yet. So sometimes you just have to let go and trust God, and trust that he'll put you where you need to be in life. And you ask him, let your will be done, and you do the best for me. Put me where you expect me to be, or you want me to be, Lord. Thank you. So thanks for watching, guys, and you enjoy your beautiful Wednesday evening now. Okay? Take care of yourself, and one love.